What if I told you that success isn't about talent, luck, or even hard work? Yes, they play a role, but at the foundation of every great achievement is something deeper: your beliefs. The way you see yourself, your challenges, and the world around you shapes your reality. Today, I want to share 10 inner beliefs that, if reinforced every single day, will transform not just what you do, but who you become. Trusting in the process means embracing the journey rather than fixating solely on the outcome. Too often, people give up on their dreams because results don't come as quickly as they expected. They assume that if they don't see immediate success, they must be on the wrong path. But true success is never an overnight phenomenon. It is the result of consistent effort, small improvements, and an unwavering belief that progress is happening, even when it's not immediately visible. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with trusting the process is impatience. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm. Fast food, overnight shipping, and on-demand entertainment have conditioned us to expect immediate results. But real growth, mastery, and success don't follow that timeline. The best things in life take time. Just like a seed planted in the soil doesn't sprout the moment it is watered, our efforts need time to take root. When we trust the process, we understand that every action, no matter how small, is contributing to the bigger picture. Another obstacle to trusting the process is self-doubt. It's easy to believe in ourselves when things are going well, but what happens when we hit setbacks? Many people start questioning if they're good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. The truth is, setbacks are not proof of failure. They are part of the journey. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and grow. If we quit the moment we face difficulty, we rob ourselves of the chance to evolve into the person capable of achieving our goals. Consistency is one of the most underrated factors in success. People often get discouraged when they don't see progress right away, but the most successful individuals are those who continue showing up day after day, even when they don't feel like it. The process rewards those who persist. Whether it's an athlete training for a championship, a writer working on their first book, or an entrepreneur building a business, success is a result of steady, intentional effort. There will be days when motivation is low, when results seem non-existent, and when giving up feels easier, but those who stay committed despite these moments are the ones who ultimately win. One powerful way to build trust in the process is to shift our focus from the outcome to the habits and systems that lead to success. Instead of obsessing over how far away the goal is, we should focus on the daily actions that will bring us closer to it. A runner training for a marathon doesn't wake up one morning and run 26 miles without preparation. They commit to a training schedule, gradually increasing their endurance over time. Likewise, any big achievement is simply the accumulation of small, consistent steps. Another important aspect of trusting the process is embracing failure as part of the journey. Many people see failure as a sign to stop, but in reality, it is proof that we are pushing beyond our comfort zone. Every successful person has encountered failure, sometimes repeatedly. The difference is that they didn't let it define them. Instead, they analyzed what went wrong, made adjustments, and kept moving forward. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary step toward it. Ultimately, trusting the process means understanding that every effort counts, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It means having faith that small actions, taken consistently, will compound into something extraordinary. It means recognizing that setbacks are temporary and perseverance is the key to long-term success. The journey is just as important as the destination. And those who embrace it fully are the ones who go the farthest. Clarity before action is the foundation of meaningful success. Too often, people dive headfirst into their goals without a clear understanding of why they are pursuing them or what they truly want. They chase success as if it's a vague, distant concept, only to find themselves frustrated, burned out, or feeling unfulfilled. Without clarity, action can feel aimless, leading to wasted time, energy, and resources. On the other hand, when we take the time to define our purpose, understand our motivations, and establish a clear vision, every step we take is intentional and meaningful. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to achieve their goals is that they aren't truly sure what they're aiming for. They may have a general desire for success, wealth, happiness, or recognition, but they haven't defined what those things mean for them. Success looks different for everyone. For some, it may mean financial independence. For others, it may mean making a positive impact on the world. Without defining our version of success, we risk spending years pursuing something that doesn't actually fulfill us. Clarity helps us align our actions with our true desires rather than chasing someone else's definition of success. When we lack clarity, we often find ourselves constantly switching directions. We start one thing, then abandon it for another when it doesn't yield immediate results. This cycle repeats itself, leaving us feeling stuck and frustrated. Clarity eliminates this pattern by giving us a strong sense of direction. When we are clear about what we want and why we want it, we develop the focus necessary to stay committed even when challenges arise. Instead of being distracted by every new opportunity or trend, we remain steady on our chosen path. Clarity also provides motivation. When we understand the deeper reason behind our goals, we are far more likely to push through obstacles. If someone's goal is simply to make more money, they may lose motivation when challenges arise. But if their goal is tied to something meaningful, such as providing a better life for their family or creating a lasting impact, they will have a stronger reason to keep going. Clarity turns our goals into something personal and powerful, making it easier to stay committed even when progress feels slow. Another advantage of clarity is that it helps us make better decisions. Without a clear vision, we may find ourselves saying yes to opportunities that don't align with our goals, or worse, wasting time on things that don't contribute to our growth. Clarity acts as a filter, allowing us to evaluate every opportunity and decision based on whether it brings us closer to our vision or distracts us from it. When we are clear on our priorities, we become more intentional with our time and energy, focusing only on what truly matters. Fear and doubt often creep in when we lack clarity. If we don't know exactly what we want or where we're headed, we hesitate to take action. We question ourselves, procrastinate, and wait for the perfect moment to start. But the truth is, clarity eliminates fear. When we have a clear goal and a solid plan, we feel more confident in taking action. We don't waste time second-guessing ourselves because we know that every step we take is leading us in the right direction. Clarity before action is also essential for resilience. The road to success is rarely smooth. Challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable. Without clarity, these obstacles can feel overwhelming, making it easy to give up. But when we have a clear understanding of why we started, we are more likely to persevere. We see obstacles not as reasons to quit, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Clarity strengthens our ability to stay the course, even when the journey gets tough. Growth over perfection is the mindset that leads to long-term success, fulfillment, and resilience. Too often, people delay taking action because they want everything to be perfect. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect skill level, or the perfect plan before they start. But in reality, perfection is an illusion. No one ever starts as an expert, and no path is ever free of obstacles. Those who achieve greatness understand that growth is more important than getting everything right from the beginning. They embrace progress, learning, and constant improvement rather than waiting until they feel ready. One of the biggest dangers of perfectionism is that it leads to inaction. Many people have dreams, ideas, and goals they want to pursue, but they never take the first step because they fear making mistakes. They want their work to be flawless before they share it with the world. But in truth, nothing improves without action. The best way to learn, improve, and gain experience is to start messy, imperfect, and uncertain. Growth happens through doing, not through endless preparation. Those who focus on growth over perfection understand that action is more valuable than waiting for an unrealistic standard of flawlessness. Perfectionism also creates unnecessary fear and self-doubt. When people hold themselves to impossible standards, they set themselves up for disappointment. They begin to associate their worth with their ability to avoid mistakes, which leads to anxiety and a fear of failure. But mistakes are not a reflection of personal failure. They are simply part of the learning process. Every expert, every successful person, and every great innovator has failed multiple times before mastering their craft. Those who embrace growth over perfection see mistakes as feedback, not as proof that they aren't good enough. They analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and continue improving. Another major downside of perfectionism is that it limits creativity and innovation. When people strive for perfection, they often avoid risks. They stick to what is safe and known, fearing that stepping outside their comfort zone might lead to failure. But true success comes from experimenting, trying new approaches, and being willing to fail in order to discover what works. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history happened because people were willing to take risks and learn from their failures. Growth requires a willingness to be uncomfortable, to try and to improve. Focusing on growth over perfection also leads to greater resilience. The path to success is never a straight line. It is filled with setbacks, unexpected challenges, and moments of doubt. Those who demand perfection from themselves often struggle to handle failure. They see setbacks as proof that they are not capable, and they may give up altogether. But those who prioritize growth understand that setbacks are temporary. They see failures as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. They recognize that every mistake teaches them something valuable and that perseverance is more important than getting everything right the first time. This mindset also applies to personal development and relationships. Many people hold themselves to unrealistic standards, believing they need to have everything figured out to be worthy of success, love, or happiness. But no one is perfect. And self-improvement is a lifelong journey. Focusing on growth allows people to be kinder to themselves, recognizing that every day is an opportunity to get better. It encourages self-compassion and the understanding that progress is more important than being flawless. Choosing growth over perfection also makes the journey more enjoyable. When people obsess over perfection, they often feel frustrated, overwhelmed, and dissatisfied with their progress. They are so focused on what is not yet perfect that they fail to appreciate how far they have come. But when they shift their focus to growth, they begin to celebrate small wins, enjoy the process, and find fulfillment in continuous learning. Instead of feeling stuck or inadequate, they feel motivated and excited about their progress. At its core, growth over perfection is about shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that abilities and intelligence are set in stone, while a growth mindset understands that skills, knowledge, and success are built over time. Those who embrace growth recognize that every challenge is an opportunity to improve. They are not afraid of starting small, making mistakes, or looking like a beginner. They know that with consistency, effort, and the right mindset, they will continue to evolve. Resilience is a muscle, and like any muscle, it must be trained, stretched, and strengthened over time. No one is born naturally resilient. It is built through experience, challenges, and intentional effort. Just as physical strength is developed by pushing the body beyond its comfort zone, resilience grows when we push through difficulties and adversity. The more we train our minds to handle setbacks, stress, and uncertainty, the stronger we become. One of the most important aspects of resilience is understanding that challenges are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth. Many people view difficulties as signs that they are failing or that they are not meant to succeed. However, the truth is that setbacks are a natural part of any journey. The most successful individuals in any field, business, sports, entertainment, or personal development, have all faced significant failures. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not the absence of hardship, but the ability to push forward despite it. Resilient people don't allow obstacles to define them. Instead, they use them as fuel for growth. Like a muscle, resilience grows when it is tested. The first time we experience failure or disappointment, it can feel overwhelming. We may doubt ourselves, question our abilities, or even consider giving up. But if we push through that moment, if we learn from it and keep going, we become mentally stronger. Over time, as we encounter more difficulties and develop strategies to overcome them, we build emotional endurance. Just as a weightlifter increases strength by gradually adding more weight, we increase our resilience by consistently facing and overcoming challenges. Resilience is also closely tied to mindset. A fixed mindset sees failure as a sign of incompetence or defeat, while a growth mindset views failure as an opportunity to improve. People with a growth mindset believe that skills, intelligence, and abilities can be developed through effort and learning. They don't avoid challenges, they embrace them because they understand that struggle leads to progress. Strengthening resilience requires adopting this mindset, reframing failures as lessons, and recognizing that every setback brings valuable insights. Another key component of resilience is emotional regulation. Life is unpredictable, and we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Resilient individuals learn to manage their emotions in difficult situations rather than allowing emotions to control them. When faced with disappointment, rejection, or failure, they acknowledge their feelings, but do not let them dictate their actions. They practice self-awareness, self-compassion, and emotional balance, allowing them to stay focused on long-term goals rather than being derailed by temporary hardships. Building resilience also requires a strong support system. Just as an athlete relies on coaches, teammates, and mentors, resilient individuals surround themselves with people who encourage and uplift them. They seek out positive influences who remind them of their strengths and provide perspective during difficult times. Having a support network does not mean relying on others to solve problems. Rather, it means having people who reinforce the belief that we are capable of overcoming challenges. Another powerful way to strengthen resilience is through adaptability. Life rarely goes according to plan, and rigid thinking can make obstacles seem insurmountable. Resilient individuals understand that flexibility is key to long-term success. When faced with unexpected difficulties, they adjust their approach, find alternative solutions, and keep moving forward. Adaptability is a crucial skill that allows us to remain open-minded, resourceful, and prepared for whatever comes our way. Self-care and recovery also play a vital role in resilience. Just as muscles need rest and nourishment to grow stronger, our minds and bodies need care to maintain resilience. Stress, burnout, and exhaustion weaken our ability to handle adversity. Prioritizing sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mental well-being ensures that we have the strength and energy to face challenges with clarity and determination. Resilience is not just about pushing through hardship. It is also about knowing when to pause, recharge, and come back even stronger. Mindset creates reality. The way we think shapes the way we experience the world, influences the choices we make, and ultimately determines our success or failure. Every action we take, every opportunity we pursue, and every obstacle we overcome starts in the mind. When we believe in possibility, we create possibility. When we focus on growth, we experience progress. But when we allow doubt, fear, and negativity to take over, we limit our potential and reinforce the very struggles we fear. The power of mindset is undeniable. What we choose to believe about ourselves and the world directly impacts what we are capable of achieving. One of the clearest examples of mindset shaping reality is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is the belief that intelligence, talent, and abilities are set in stone. People with this mindset see failure as proof that they are not good enough, and they avoid challenges because they fear looking incompetent. They believe that if they are not naturally good at something, they never will be. On the other hand, a growth mindset sees intelligence and abilities as things that can be developed with effort and learning. People with this mindset embrace challenges, see failure as feedback, and understand that improvement comes through persistence. The difference between these two mindsets determines whether someone gives up after one setback or keeps going until they succeed. Beyond personal success, mindset also affects how we perceive and interact with the world. Two people can experience the same situation but interpret it completely differently based on their mindset. Someone with a scarcity mindset, for example, sees life as a competition where there are limited opportunities, limited resources, and limited success to go around. They may feel threatened by other people's achievements and struggle with jealousy or fear of missing out. On the other hand, someone with an abundance mindset believes there is always enough to go around, enough opportunities, enough success, and enough resources. They celebrate the achievements of others, knowing that someone else's success does not diminish their own. This mindset allows them to take more risks, build stronger relationships, and recognize opportunities that others may overlook. Mindset also determines how we respond to adversity. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. The way we interpret these setbacks shapes our ability to move forward. When faced with failure, someone with a negative mindset might believe, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "this always happens to me." These beliefs create a self-fulfilling cycle of discouragement, inaction, and repeated failure. However, someone with a resilient mindset will see the same setback and think, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I do better next time?" Instead of allowing failure to define them, they use it as fuel for growth. Over time, this approach leads to greater perseverance, stronger problem-solving skills, and higher levels of achievement. One of the most powerful aspects of mindset is that it is entirely within our control. While we cannot always control what happens to us, we can always control how we interpret it and how we respond. If we train ourselves to see possibilities instead of limitations, to focus on solutions instead of problems, and to believe in ourselves instead of doubting our abilities, we set ourselves up for success. Mindset is not just about thinking positively, it is about choosing thoughts that empower us to take action, persist through difficulties, and create the outcomes we desire. Cultivating a powerful mindset requires daily effort. It starts with self-awareness, paying attention to our thoughts and questioning whether they are helping or hurting us. It requires challenging negative beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones. It involves surrounding ourselves with people, ideas, and influences that support growth and possibility. It means practicing gratitude, focusing on progress rather than perfection, and constantly expanding our understanding of what is possible. Ultimately, the mind is the starting point for everything we create in our lives. If we believe we are capable, we will take actions that align with that belief. If we believe success is possible, we will find a way to make it happen. But if we allow fear, doubt, and negativity to take over, we will hold ourselves back before we even begin. Mindset is the foundation of all success. And by intentionally shaping our thoughts, we can create a reality that aligns with our greatest potential. Service leads to significance because true impact is not measured by personal success alone, but by the difference we make in the lives of others. Many people chase wealth, recognition, or status, believing these achievements will bring fulfillment. While success can provide comfort and opportunity, it is service, our contributions to others, that gives life deeper meaning. When we shift our focus from personal gain to making a positive difference, we unlock a level of fulfillment, purpose, and influence that goes beyond what money or titles can offer. One of the greatest truths about success is that it is not about what we get, but about what we give. Those who are remembered, those who leave lasting legacies, are not the ones who took the most, but the ones who gave the most. The leaders, visionaries, and change makers who have shaped history did so not because they pursued significance for themselves, but because they served others in meaningful ways. Whether through innovation, mentorship, kindness, or advocacy, they dedicated themselves to something bigger than their own ambitions. Service is also a powerful pathway to personal growth. When we help others, we expand our perspective, develop empathy, and cultivate a deeper understanding of the world around us. We become better leaders, better problem solvers, and better human beings. Service teaches us to look beyond our own struggles and recognize that our challenges, no matter how difficult, are not unique. It reminds us that we are all connected and that by lifting others, we lift ourselves. One of the most common misconceptions about service is that it requires grand gestures or financial resources. While philanthropy and large-scale impact are valuable, true service is often found in the small, everyday actions that create ripples of change. A kind word, a moment of mentorship, a helping hand. These acts of service may seem small, but they have the power to transform lives. A teacher who believes in a struggling student, a leader who invests time in their team's growth, a friend who offers support in a moment of need. All of these examples demonstrate how service leads to significance. Service also fuels success in unexpected ways. Many of the most accomplished individuals and businesses thrive not because they focused solely on profit, but because they prioritized adding value to others. When we shift from asking, "What can I get?" to "How can I serve?" we attract more opportunities, build stronger relationships, and create a reputation based on trust and integrity. The most successful businesses solve problems. The most respected leaders empower others. And the most influential people create impact through service. Another powerful aspect of service is that it creates a lasting legacy. Material success fades, but the impact we have on others endures. Consider the mentors, teachers, and leaders who have shaped your own life. Their influence likely had nothing to do with how much money they made or what they owned. Instead, it was their guidance, support, and belief in you that made the difference. In the same way, the significance we create comes not from what we accumulate, but from the lives we touch. A life driven by service also brings deeper fulfillment. Many people who achieve financial success or career milestones still feel an emptiness because they lack a greater sense of purpose. However, those who serve others, whether through their work, relationships, or community involvement, find a level of joy and meaning that success alone cannot provide. The act of giving, helping, and contributing creates a sense of purpose that fuels motivation and passion in ways that personal ambition never can. At its core, service is about shifting from self-centered success to meaningful impact. It is about recognizing that significance is not something we achieve for ourselves, but something we create for others. It is about using our skills, talents, and resources to leave the world better than we found it. And when we do this, when we make service a priority in our lives, we not only achieve success, but we create a legacy of significance that lasts far beyond our own lifetime.